So obviously last week's win, a great result for you. How much did that mean to you and the players?
Well, it meant a lot. I mean, it's a really good away victory, and to be honest, we'd have taken a point going there, because we know they're a very good team, a lot of talented players, and 3,500 fans behind them always makes places like that really trying places to go and get a result. But really proud of the performance. I thought we were organised throughout, and the players just ran through brick walls, and deservedly claimed the 3 points in the end.
You said last week about confidence growing as part of the run that you've now got yourselves on. How much of an effect did last week's result have on that?
Well, they've been certainly in great spirits in training. I think away victories at the likes of Halifax, in the league, and although we weren't very good on the night, Wrexham, it's a valuable point. And then building on that and getting 3 points at Yeovil, and we showed the lads quite a fair bit of coverage of the opposition teams, and they can see, the Yeovil are a very talented team. So it was a great journey home, and it does boost the confidence levels. But at the same time, then you don't want people getting ahead of themselves. We've got some big games coming up, and we've had a good few weeks. But we want the next few weeks to be more progressive again.
Starting obviously on Saturday with the FA Cup. Is there a different mindset at all going into this, or is it very much just treated like any other game?
It is treated pretty much the same way, because it could be massive for the club. I mean, you can never plan to put the FA Cup an FA Cup run into your budget, because you might turn up and it might be a Woking game where you have 17 corners, don't score and lose to a deflected goal. But and that's why you can't plan round it. But what a difference it can make to a club, if you can go on a good run, and to individuals as well. People are on television more, they're exposed more, and it could give the club a real lift. So we're treating it with the utmost importance, and we're planning and preparing, and it's another Yorkshire derby against Halifax, and we won the last one, but we know they then went on to win at Dover that weekend, and they fought back well, and they're an excellent club and a very good team.
Can you take anything from that league going into this weekend's match at all?
Only that we know the lads were shattered after, because we had a lot of respect for them. Therefore, we had to work really hard during the game to get any kind of result, and we'll be aiming to do the same again.
You're due an FA Cup run, really, aren't you? You've not got beyond this round for the last few years, but as a manager, you have been further. Just tell us what it means if you can manage to get into the first round proper and beyond.
Well, it's a bit of an escape from the league, because it is a grind, and you can grind away at it, can't you? And sometimes not be making much progress because if others win. But one win in the FA Cup can make such a big difference to, as I already said, individuals, but as a team, and our profile even within our area. And what it did the year that we did do all right in the FA Cup and go a few rounds, was just the local interest just went through the roof, and the activity in the office. Back in the day when I had a seat in the office, it was just electric, really, and it was great. It was great to win new fans and for players to really write their names down in folklore without being over dramatic. It was great for every individual involved. So, that's the magic, as they always say, of the FA Cup, without being too cliched. And people talk about all the romance of it and all that kind of talk, but we just want to win games and make it a habit. And if we do it in the FA Cup as well, then it really gives room for optimism that we can have real drive and forward momentum.
The club's obviously progressed since that last FA Cup run that you had like that, but from what you're saying, it still means the same amount.
Oh, absolutely, and I think the supporters would think, what the heck are you doing? If you play a real weakened team, or just take it easy and rest players. We're not resting players for Europe, or we play. We know the quota of players we have to play. It's a grind in the league, but we haven't got a big squad. Players are playing not just to do well in the FA Cup, but to stay in the team, because we've got a strong squad and we've got a strong bench, and even the likes of Lloyd Kerry returning from St George's Park, from a real hard 2 or 3 weeks down there. He'll be itching to starting games. So got good competition for places. So the emphasis is on the players to really, now they're playing well, to keep playing well.
how is Lloyd Kerry then? How far off is he from being back in the side, or at least been in contention anyway?
Well, he's yet to train with us because he's been down at St George's Park. So he's just finishing off today, his third week. So he'll be super fit, you know. And knowing Lloyd, he'll have really made sure that he's ready to come back in. So, you know, who knows? A good training session behind him tomorrow. And if he stands out and in terms of his fitness and he's able to do everything that he's needed to do on a Saturday, then you know, there's a chance he could be at least involved on Monday, and you never know, he could sneak onto the bench on Saturday.
And how's everyone else? Anybody else that's not in contention for Saturday? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a sharp session after training as well, and they're bang at it. You know, you can't fault them, and that's why the lads who started, they can't get ahead of themselves. You know, at the end of the day, we're only 8th. It's nothing to write home about. You know, it's good though. They're good progress recently, but it's where we end up, and we've got to keep accumulating results, and that's hopefully in an attempt to finish well. And a lot of the season to play, cup competitions as well, and we just want to make winning a habit.
And you made a couple of changes last week, probably not unexpected from what you told us in the build-up to last week's match. Where do you see things this week? Have you got plenty of food for thought, or are you sort of looking at a settled side?
Well, I think the lads deserve the start, and the idea was, well, the emphasis on them was to, can they not just be good subs, can they come in and really nail their positions, and they did, to be fair. Now they've got to back it up, because you're quick to judge, as we all are, fans are, players even are within the changing room, I'm sure, in their own car scores, but ultimately we pick the team, and we have to be able to have reliable players that can perform week in, week out. And you know, they've had a good week with 2 days off, bright sessions in between, and so there'll be no excuse, you know. And if it's a day like this, which I all hope it will be a big crowd, and we're going into another difficult place, you know, Halifax. We've got real respect for their management and team, and you know, we've got to play not just 5 and 6 and 7s out of 10, 7, 8s and 9s, and that's the aim.
Lovely, thank you very much.